It is Friday, the 7th day of June 2024. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch on Hope TV. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. Let's take a look at some of the day's news. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has once again called for unity among leaders across the country, irrespective of their political affiliations. This comes days after the Deputy President dismissed critics, urging them to stop equating his recent calls for Mount Kenya unity with tribalism amid speculations of a rift between him and his boss, President William Ruto. Gachagua made the remarks at Kisima Girls School in Samburu County, where he also addressed the issue of female genital mutilation, FGM, saying girls need to be nurtured and empowered to enable them make sufficient contributions to the society. Grace Ahati reports.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has continued to champion the call for unity among leaders, emphasizing its significance in fostering national cohesion. Gachagua's call for unity comes amid political uproar in the country, his latest one coming days after he told off critics for interpreting his appeals as an attempt to rally support along ethnic lines. Speaking in Samburu County during an inspection tour of ongoing construction projects at Kisima Girls School, the DP has emphasized that leaders coming together in their respective regions is for the greater good of the country.
And what is important is to work for the people of this county, bila kuangalia mambo ya vyama. Political parties are only for the purposes of elections. Once the elections are over, we all join, we become one team, we serve the people. Ikifika miaka 5, tena tunarudi pale kwa debe.
Gachagua has now urged elected officials to prioritize service delivery to citizens, stating that political differences are unnecessary after elections.
Political differences are unnecessary after elections because this is a time to serve. And all these people are our people, irrespective of which party you belong to. So hiyo milango ya kisiasa tungetaka tuweke kando, kwanza tusukume kazi.
In his address, Gachagua at the same time highlighted the need to eradicate harmful cultural practices like FGM, saying it is important to nurture and empower girls to become valuable members of society. According to statistics from UNICEF, approximately 21% of girls in Kenya undergo FGM, with the highest prevalence rates observed in northern and eastern regions of the country.
Those are practices that are repugnant to morality and the new way of life. We don't want to hear those things here in Samburu County or anywhere else in the country. We want these girls to be taken care of so that they can be women of substance.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Much appreciated, Grace Ahati. President William Ruto's daughter, Charlene Ruto, has urged young people not to despair, but to seek God for direction in their lives. Charlene Ruto, who was speaking on Hope FM Activate show on Friday, that is this morning, has been nominated in the Women of Excellence Awards 2024 under the Agriculture category. The first daughter says she is focused on inspiring the youth to focus on entrepreneurship. Our reporter Dolly Mirigi Mbuvi with a story.
First daughter Charlene Ruto is passionate about inspiring the youth to become agricultural leaders who see farming as a platform for positive change. Charlene Ruto, President William Ruto's daughter, speaking on Hope FM this morning, shared some of the programs that she has been involved in, especially in uplifting the youth in the country.
I'm also the kind of leader who believes that to lead people, you also need to listen and hear from them. So that's when I reached out to the young people via my various social media platforms. And I asked them, what do you want me to champion for you with this space and platform that I now have?
Yes.
So I got so many suggestions from Twitter, Instagram, from Facebook. That time I was not yet on TikTok. So all these suggestions, my team and I looked through them. I had just 2 people working with me at that time. We looked through them, we took our time, and that's how we came up with the 30 things. And we divided them into 3 thematic areas. So the first one is Youth in Action, and this covers everything in regards to young people's source of income, how we spend, how we save, how we invest in regards to digital skills. And this is a big concern because, as we all know, we have so many graduates churned out every single year.
Yes.
But it can be difficult to get a source of employment. So we are really encouraging our young people to get into entrepreneurship, get into business, to start something for themselves and actually employ other young people. Yes, there are some jobs that are there, but we want to have an entrepreneurial mindset.
She has also revealed a long-time passion for beekeeping and steps she's taken to transform the project.
Bees are everywhere. So this is what created my interest in beekeeping. And then now what we do through SMARCS Foundation is we offer beekeeping trainings to people who are interested, because you have to be interested.
Right.
It's not just a random thing, because if we train you and you're not interested, you won't carry out the knowledge.
Sure.
And we also donate beehives to different communities. And I'm so excited because this month on 17th of June is the World Desertification Day, and it will be in Laikipia County. And we're donating 20 beehives to the community there. But we don't just do that. We go back and see how the community is doing. What do they need? Do they need equipment? Many of the communities, they actually need market for their honey. And we tell them, we'll offtake for you your honey. We'll offtake it, and we want to create actually an aggregation so that we can export this honey to other countries. Because in Kenya, we have very, very good honey.
Charlene, who recently graduated from the Deaf Sign Language School, said this has enabled her to intentionally reach this vulnerable group in different settings, describing the experience of learning the sign language as a challenging yet rewarding journey.
It took me about 6 months to learn. And actually, one of the things I'm happiest about is I randomly meet people and they tell me they've started learning sign language just because they had that have also done it. And sign language is very diverse. So we specifically have Kenyan Sign Language, which has actually been recognized by our constitution.
Yes.
So it's the third language after English and Kiswahili. And now they're looking to have Kenyan Sign Language fully put into different programs within our country. So I looked at this vulnerable group, and I also started visiting deaf schools.
Yes.
We have a deaf school in almost every county in Kenya. So I started visiting deaf schools. We've given them shoes. We've just gone there to motivate them, and I speak directly to them through Kenyan Sign Language. So this is what motivated me to work with the deaf community and learn Kenyan Sign Language.
All right.
Dolly Murikimbovi for Hope TV.
Thank you, Dolly, for that report. Now, as the conversation on the 2024 Finance Bill continues, the voice of the public remains key in establishing whether the bill that forms the 2024-2025 national budget should pass or not. Public participation has been encouraged and continues to be open until the bill is assented into an Act of Parliament by the 1st of July 2024. The controversial aspect in some of the proposals has seen an outrage from the public, with the majority seeming concerned about the economy. Our reporter Ian Githuko spoke with some Nairobi residents and filed this report.
As public participation continues regarding the 2024 Finance Bill, it is important to give a voice to the Kenyans who are mostly affected by the bill. Hope TV Newswatch set out to gather questions, opinions and uncertainties surrounding the 2024 Finance Bill conversation from the Kenyans.
Ukiangalia katika ile budget ambayo wamepropose, according to me, inavinyilia mwananchi wa kawaida. That's the reality. Of which, ukiangalia ili uweze kuelewa kwamba inavinyilia, kampuni zile kubwa kama Coca-Cola, ambayo ni international, ina complain kwa sababu ya budget ya Kenya, na ushuru wa Kenya umekuwa juu mpaka naamua kama vitu plan ambayo tulikuwa tunasaidia si tumethindro.
Kuna mahali penafika hiyo finance bill manze, sisi kama youth haitufevi vizuri. So ukiangalia kama hapo pena wanaingilia hapo mambo na tax kwa youth hapa hivi, unapata tunajua saizi youth wengi pale kenina wa sustain ni huku mambo na media, huku vitu za online nini si ndio? So ukiangalia wakisema wanataka kuleta tax huko, anze kutu tax huko, sasa hapo mimi hapo nakataa nayo kabisa.
Naona haifai juu italete magumu mingi kwa wananchi, kwa sababu tuseme kama mkate ikipandizwa, watu wengi wataweza kuwa wanaweza nunua. Kwa hivyo maisha itakuwa ngumu, lazima watu sasa waache kukula mkate, alafu sasa itakuwa watu hawaishi penye inatakikana. Kwa hivyo tuseme ngari tax ikiwekwa kwa magari hii ya kulipiwa kila mwaka itakuja ikue magari fare ikuwe imepanda.
Ikiwa kama kuna budget ambaye hiyo finance bill ambaye imekuwa controversial ni hii ya sahihi, kwa sababu ni mambo mengi ambayo wanayefanya si ya kuokoa mwananchi bali ni ya kufinyilia.
Those are some of the views from the Kenyans giving their opinion regarding the 2024 finance bill, with the main emphasis of concern being the recent proposal of an increase in VAT on bread and the motor vehicle tax, which is going to be introduced as part of the finance bill. For Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Ian Githuku.
Much appreciated, Ian Githuku. Now, Christ is the Answer Ministries Sitam Embu is conducting an evangelistic campaign in Embu County in conjunction with Sitam Church on the Wheels. The 4-day campaign, which includes one-on-one evangelism in different parts of Embu County and evening crusades at the Moy Stadium, Embu entered its second day today, and as Alice Diana reports, various missioners drawn from Sitam Embakasi, Sitam Thika Town, Sitam Meru and Sitam Embu, who are participating in the evangelism campaign, were able to reach 282 residents today, with 61 of them giving their lives to Christ.
They also noted some of the challenges they have experienced in their line of duty.
Okay, the reception, to some extent, there's a number of them are very positive, but on the contrary, we have quite actually a bigger number who are opposed actually to what we are doing, because they are saying there is a thin line between a believer and a con man. Actually, most of them are saying, nowadays con men are putting on, a garment that looks like you're a believer just to con them and to mess them up. And actually, I think that is a serious hindrance that has stood out. Even some of the residences, they can't open the gates for you because they struggle to really tell who you are. And they say they have been conned before by people who are saying they're preaching Christ. So I think it's a call to the church that we can pray and trust God, that He will also give us creative ways of reaching out, but again, He will help us to be able to, maneuver our way, especially as we engage with people, because they have really blocked the way in terms of not differentiating a believer and who is out to mess them out.
Indeed, as the Bible says, that the harvest is ripe and the laborers are few. We have seen the goodness of God in this journey. People are coming back to Christ. Others are rededicating their lives to Christ, getting saved. People are being delivered from bondages, and we really are grateful to God for what He's doing to His people.
I really love the way they organize the whole thing. The land in Meru, in Embu is very ripe. We have prayed about it, and many people are willing to know the word of God.
Okay, the reception, to some extent, there's a number of them are very positive, but on the contrary, we have quite actually a bigger number who are opposed actually to what we are doing, because they are saying there is a thin line between a believer and a con man. Actually, most of them are saying, nowadays con men are putting on, a garment that looks like you're a believer just to con them.
And for those who received the gospel today, they thanked the Sitam missionaries for bringing the gospel to them, with some even becoming emotional and thanking God through singing.
Maisha yangu mimi nampa nani leo? Maisha yangu mimi nampa Yesu atawale. Rafiki zangu wote namtamani leo, maisha yangu yote nampa Yesu atawale.
Reporting for Hope TV News Watch from Embu County, I'm Alice Diana.
Well, quite inspiring. Thank you, Alice Diana. Moving on, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has signed the Intergovernmental Authority for Development IGAD Protocol on Transhumans following a successful meeting with the IGAD Secretariat delegation led by Dr. Fatma Aden, who is the IGAD Head of Mission in Kenya. Mudavadi, who is also the Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Cabinet Secretary, said the signed protocol provides a critical framework for free, safe, and orderly cross-border mobility of transhuman livestock and herders in search of water and pasture within the IGAD member states. Nelia Sonjiro with more.
Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Musalia Mudavadi has explained that they already signed Intergovernmental Authority for Development IGAD Protocol on transhumans. We regulate transhumans activities, including the movement of herders and their livestock across borders, sustainable management of natural resources, including land, water, and pasture, to support transhumans activities, conflict prevention, mitigation, and resolution.
This, to me, is also very welcome news, because not too long ago, we have had issues with some of our pastoralists crossing over, and in certain cases there have been incidents which have resulted in violence and perhaps loss of life and loss of livestock. So this, hopefully, will be a step towards kind of mitigating against such challenges. The security aspect of it and also the health are very key. Health for the livestock and even health for the...
Mudavadi added that this will also help in promoting peaceful coexistence and reduce the risks associated with violence and lead to the protection of rights and interests of pastoralist communities, including the access to land, water, grazing resources, and further cooperation and coordination among neighboring countries in addressing common challenges across the borders.
I hope we can also engage in a campaign that makes it clear that as you cross over from one boundary to the other, it's extremely dangerous when you cross over with the weapons, or they cross over with the weapons, because the challenge you have had recently, until there was an intervention at presidential level with one of our member states, is that people crossed over and they had weaponry. And on that other country, if you are caught with a weapon, it's not looked at it in the context of self-protection, but it's looked at differently.
On his part, Jonathan Mweke, the Principal Secretary for the State Department for the Livestock Department, has announced that the State Department for the Livestock and the Ministry at large has embarked on putting together a livestock identification system that will be functioning in the next 3 to 4 months, adding that it will be a game changer in eradicating cattle rustling and also boost international livestock products trade.
Prior to announce that our State Department of Livestock and our ministry has embarked on putting together a livestock identification and traceability system. It's currently in tender, and in another 2 or 3 months we should be able to roll it out, complete with regulations and laws that govern the identification and traceability of livestock. This will be a game changer for our country, as it will minimize and maybe even eradicate cattle rustling. But it's also going to be very, very important for trade, especially international trade of our livestock products, as it will now allow us to export to areas that are very particular on traceability, farm to fork kind of traceability. So it's a very important step that we are making as a ministry in the livestock sector. Thank you, Your Excellency.
The Intergovernmental Authority on Development IGAD is an 8-country trade bloc in Africa which aims to accelerate economic and social development and integration of members of the region through integration efforts anchored on peace, prosperity, and regional integration. Reporting for Hope TV News Watch, my name is Nelia Wanjiru.
Thank you, Nelias Wanjiro, for that report. And on that note, let's take a short break. We will be back with much more. Don't go away.
Life is a school. If you're living, you're definitely going to learn lessons every day. However, some of these life lessons can be too costly.
This is where the expensive lesson comes in, because they then said, well, we don't normally give goods on consignment, but we said, let's give it a try to open a new market. And now that you're holding all this stock, we want you to buy it. And we just didn't have $1 million, Then they said, okay, well, you need to secure it. And we didn't have the security for $1 million. And that's when the expensive lesson began, because they received a letter from their lawyers.
You definitely don't want to miss out on this thrilling classroom from the School of Life, only on Hope TV, where we look and live.
Welcome back. Mama Pauline Pakire is a renowned traditional birth attendant who operates in Ola City, in Tulele and Suswa areas of Narok East Sub-County. The 84-year-old woman reveals that she has been a midwife for over 30 years in her work that has seen her move from house to house to help mothers deliver their babies. So talented is Mama Pauline that she can detect the sex of the unborn child and confirm how old the fetus is just by placing her fingers on the mother's tummy. Mama Pauline, who has already become a brand in her community, now travels from village to village, sensitizing women to visit the antenatal clinics and postnatal clinics to improve their health and that of their children. Take a look.
Since I came here, maternity services was very low because we used to get 0 delivery in a month, but due to community dialogues, community participation, on engaging them on the benefits and of delivery or good services in delivery, and using TBS, up to date we are getting 10 to 20 mothers in a month. Due to the knowledge we have managed to give the community people.
Siku hizi tunaleta tu watoto hapa asalisho hospitali. Tunapeleka tu, tunaita tu pikipiki alete tu nyumbani. Na alipo hapa hospitali shauri watu wote yeye natuma upande hii. Kikuja kwangu kama mimi nimeleta hiyo msichana ya kijana yangu.
Residents and stakeholders of West Pokot County have expressed their grievances regarding the mining of gravel in their area. They demand the county government enacts policies to regulate the mining and sale of gravel to protect the interests of the locals and prevent fraud. They pointed out that during the celebrations of World Environment Day, they had urged the government to take swift action in implementing appropriate policies to control the trade.
Na tunaomba wale washikadau wote ambao wanahusika kwa masuala ya environment tuweze kushirikiana nao ili tuweze kutengeneza mswada ambao utaleta suluhu kwa maneno ya sand mining katika hili maeneo, ili tuweze kukuwa na tunaweza changamsha jamii ili iweze kupata at least some savings kutoka kwa sustainable soil sand harvesting, kuwekeza katika mazingira yetu.
Basi kwa majina naitwa Thomas Lokoriongor, natoka upande wa Pokot South. Tumeunda sheria na tunaomba county government watusaidie pia ili ifike upande wa Kachalipa, sababu pia tunataka tufundishe pia kama wenyeji mahali pale, wenyeji wa Kachalipa waunde vikundi na wachunge mtoni wao na kuunda kama vikundi, ili the moment wanauza mchanga malori wanapata pesa mzuri, sababu mahali pale tulitembea mpaka mahali pale maana inaitwa Eldoret. Tunauza mahali hapa shilingi 1,400 na mahali pale wanaenda kuuza 60,000.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has highlighted that the creative industry has great potential of transforming people's livelihoods, especially the youth. Speaking when he attended the grand launch of artist Kevin Bahati's reality show, The Bahati's Empire, on Netflix last night, Gachagua said that besides the rich entertainment, the creatives are a sure way of preserving and promoting traditional and cultural values.
We have tremendous respect for our young people. They are the present and the future of this country. And our society needs you. And as I speak to this gathering, I'm thrilled to sit among great minds, creative people, people who sit through to think, to come up with an art of work that make other people happy. Life is about happiness. That's why we live. We all live to be happy. And you people, God has given you a gift to make other people happy. Please, utilize it well. And if it makes you some money along the way, hallelujah. As you create content, as you entertain other people, please.
And across our borders, President Cyril Ramaphosa and senior party officials were in a critical meeting on Thursday in Johannesburg, South Africa, to decide how to go about forming a government. Any unity government plan will still have to be taken to those other parties, some of whom are more opposed to each other than ANC. More than 50 parties contested the election, with at least 8 of them receiving significant shares of support. An agreement of some sort needs to be in place by June 16th, the deadline for South Africa's new parliament to sit and elect a president. And Safaricom has launched an 8-week initiative titled Shine Kenya, Shinda Mamili Kama Bingwa, aimed at rewarding over 2.5 million customers across the country with substantial prizes. The initiative extends beyond individual rewards, with additional funds allocated to support community projects. The campaign is seeking to honor customers' resilience and support, especially during challenging times, and will be rolled out regionally, covering various parts of the country. Fozia Ali Kimanthi, Chief Officer of the Consumer Business Unit at Safaricom, has urged customers to participate, emphasizing that the campaign will help Kenyans support their communities. And it's a wrap on Newswatch tonight. On behalf of the whole team, thank you for watching. I'm Tess Njenga, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. Till next time, have a good night.